Getting our MMI Prime or Pro into a G01 can be a little bit tricky, but it is doable, and today we show you how to get it done. Welcome back, I'm Dylan with Beamer Tech. A few people have reached out to us and were curious about how to run the cables for our MMI Prime or Pro in a pre-MGU head unit G01. This video is going to focus mainly on the tricky parts of that installation, so if you want to learn more about the MMI Prime or Pro and what features it could bring to your G01, we encourage you to go check out some of the other videos on our YouTube channel, as well as the product page on our website, link in the description.
Keep in mind that all of this can be accomplished with our DIY Essentials Kit and Trim Tool Kits. But if you don't want to do it yourself, you could find one of our certified installers near you. We have them in about 30 countries around the world, and if you're in the Orlando, Florida area, well then stop on by and we can do it for you.
Jared is going to show you how to run these cables and where to place the MMI in our G01. So without further ado, Jared, take it away.
While this may be a curated highlight video, we still want to go ahead and remind you to disconnect your battery before you go forward with this or any installation. Start by opening the hatch. Lift the floor panel, then rotate the two locking tabs. You can then lift the next panel up. Using a 10mm socket, remove the negative battery terminal and set it aside. After that, let's get started. To access where we need to put the MMI and run the wiring, you'll need to start by popping off this center trim with a trim tool. Disconnect this connector by pulling. Use a pick tool to help with the top one like so. And the last one is a pinch and pull. For the lower controls, use a trim tool to pop it out like so. And remove the bigger connector by pinching in the sides and pulling. And the bottom one by pulling. A pick tool may help. To remove the head unit, remove the two T20 screws. While here, remove the two T20 screws holding the screen in place as well, since you will also need to remove that. With the screen free, slide it out and remove the video cable by pushing in the center tab and pulling it out. Now slide the head unit out and remove all of the connectors. Pinch in the tab and pull for all of these. And push in the tab and rotate the arm down for the quad lock. Pinch in the side and pull for the last one. Remove the passenger footwell trim by rotating the two locking tabs. Disconnect the light by removing the loom fasteners and then pulling it from the light. The MMI will go behind the glove box, so we'll need to remove it. Start by removing the two T20 screws on the bottom. Next, open the glove box and remove the 5 T20 screws like so. Once the screws are removed, drop the glove box and disconnect the two connectors by pulling. Pop free the two loom fasteners. A trim tool may help if they are tight. Now this is where the unique part starts. Take the factory cable that went to the screen and feed it down like so. We need to free this video cable from the loom. Very carefully, with a tool of your choice, start cutting the tape holding the cables together. Be very careful not to damage any cable. Work slowly and carefully until you're able to start peeling back the tape. Once the video cable is free, you can re-loom the other two cables to keep the install nice and tidy. Feed them back up like so, but don't feed the video cable back up. Next, locate this loom in the area between the head unit and the glove box, and with a trim tool, pop the fastener free. Do the same with the fastener between the two middle AC vents. Jarrett pulled down at the same time he pushed in the sides with a long flathead screwdriver. With the loom free, pull it down a bit to expose this tape. Very carefully remove the tape and continue to free the video cable. Here, the individual wires are a bit smaller and less forgiving, so be extra careful not to cut them. Peel the tape back to where this split happens. With the video cable now free, pull it back to the glove box area. To make the installation cleaner and reduce the possibility of snags, you can go ahead and retape the main loom and factory video cable if you choose. You can also go ahead and snap the loom fasteners back in place. Now we can plug the factory harness into the BeamerTech harness. Grab the BeamerTech plug-and-play harness. This vehicle is not equipped with fiber optics, but if your vehicle does have it, then take a look at one of our other videos to learn how to relocate it. Make sure the arm on the factory connector is in the open position, place it into the BeamerTech harness, and rotate the arm to lock it into place. Slide the quad lock into the cavern of darkness, and grab the other end of the harness. Feed it through this hole in the side of the center dash like Jarrett is showing. Pull it through. Grab the video cable from the BeamerTech kit and feed it through that same area, but this time from the other direction like so. For this, you will feed it up to where the screen goes. We can now put the screen back. Take the BeamerTech video cable and plug it into the back of the screen. Slide the screen back in and replace the two T20 screws. This would be a fantastic time to use our new BeamerTech screen cleaner. Want to learn more? Go check out the link in the description of this video. Now let's install the Wi-Fi antenna. Remove the backing of the double-sided tape and stick it off to the side near the driver's side of the center console. This will keep it closer to where your phone may be and away from where the head unit goes to avoid any complications during the reinstallation of the head unit. Since this will plug into your MMI, feed the connector for it out of the side with the rest. Now it's time to start plugging back in your head unit. Simply plug back everything in the same place you took it out, but for the quad lock, insert the BeamerTech connector. Make sure the arm is in the unlocked position, and when the connector is in place, rotate the arm to lock it into place. Once everything is connected, slide the head unit back into place and reinstall the two T20 screws. Back in the glove box area, take the USB cable from the AV USB harness from the BeamerTech kit and feed it down through here, and then tuck it behind the side of the trim here. This is a good place to have the USB cable out of the way but still accessible. Where you put it is ultimately up to you. Now it's time to start plugging in the MMI. The first thing is to make sure you set your dip switches on the back to the correct configuration based on the size of your screen. There is a label on the back of the MMI itself that will show you how to set them. The MMI is going to live in the upper left corner, but let's get it plugged in first. First, power, then antenna, AV USB, the video cable from the BeamerTech kit into LCD out, and the factory video cable into LCD in. If you're going to make use of the HDMI input on the MMI Pro, then go ahead and install that cable or device now as well. If you're using an HDMI cable, run that near the USB cable for easy access. With everything connected, slide the MMI into this upper left corner. You can use cable ties to tidy up the cabling for a clean install. Make sure you tuck everything out of the way so the glove box can easily slide back in. Speaking of which, grab your glove box. Plug in the two connectors. Resecure the loom fasteners. And slide the glove box back into place. You can then replace all of the fasteners you removed before. Reinstall the footwell panel by reinserting the loom fastener and plugging in the light. Push it into place and rotate the locking tabs to lock it into place. For the final bit of reassembly, plug back in the lower control panel, and snap it back into place. For the upper trim, plug back in all of the connectors and snap the panel back into place. If you've disconnected your battery, reconnect it at this point, and you're done.
And that is how you install our MMI Prime or Pro in your pre-MGU head unit G01. For more information about our MMIs, go check out some of the other videos on our YouTube channel or the product information on our website. But if you have any other issues with the installation, we encourage you to reach out to our support team with your order number and they will be eager to assist. But as always, for more tips and tricks, product reviews, and so much more for BMWs, Mini Supers, and now Teslas, make sure you subscribe and don't forget to ring that bell. Want to know what's happening first? Head on over to our website and sign up for our newsletter. And don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as well. Thanks for watching.